Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Harley Waterfield II, Chairman of the Board of Regents of Murray State University, and welcome to the 2015 State of the University Address that will be delivered by President Bob Davies in a few moments. I ate lunch today at Martha's, and I had chicken and dumplings. And I've got to have this water because they were delicious but salty, and I'm a little dry, so. But I recommend the chicken and dumplings at Martha's. Before I introduce Dr. Davies, I want to recognize members of the Board of Regents that are here. Dan Kemp from Hopkinsville, Jerry Rhodes, who is also a former state senator from Madisonville, Student Regent Clinton Combs, Faculty Regent Marty Jacobs, and Staff Regent Phil Schooley, although I hadn't seen Phil. Is Phil not here?
He's helping a student. He'll be here shortly.
Okay. Wow. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank for their leadership Faculty Senate Leader Joe DeBella and Staff Congress Leader Laura Lohr. We also have some elected officials with us today, although I have not seen, I understand Stan Humphreys, Senator Stan Humphreys is going to be here, but I don't see Stan, and he's a good man to know now that the Republicans have taken over the state totally. Judge Executive Larry Elkins, saw him a while ago, he's out there, and City Councilwoman Jane Shoemaker, right there, okay. Mayor Rose sent a message regretting that he could not be here today, but he's out of town meeting on behalf of the City of Murray. We also have some former elected officials in attendance, former state representative and Board of Regent member Melvin Henley, former state senator and president of the Murray State University Foundation Board, Bob Jackson. I know Bob's here. There he is back there. And former state senator Kim Winters. Kim's right back there too. Got four of them if you want to get them, something done. They know how to do it. They used to do it. So, and also want to recognize and thank Cindy Davies for our First Lady of Murray State University for her contributions to this university the last several months they've been here. Thank you very much, Cindy. You're a gracious hostess when I'm there, and appreciate all you do. I also want to take the opportunity to express my deep appreciation and gratitude, and that of the Board of Regents, to the faculty, staff, students, and Greater Murray community, because the Greater Murray community is very much involved in this university. Your dedication and hard work on a daily basis has made this university what it is and is continuing to make it even better. We have much to be proud of and even more to look forward to. In April 2014, the Board of Regents selected Bob Davies as the 13th president of Murray State University. Dr. Davies has been a welcomed addition to the Murray State family with his energetic passion for students, faculty, staff, and the community. Bob has built and continues to build relationships that will produce lasting benefits. And he's a bulldog. I've been involved in a couple of things recently with some of the powers that be in education in Frankfurt, and Bob doesn't back down. He fights for our positions, and that's really good. Bob has engaged the university in an inclusive and comprehensive strategic plan to enhance the vision of Murray State University as the university of choice. Within his short tenure, he has refocused our priorities on academic rigor, as evidenced by our increased academic admission standards to better serve our students and the creation of the Honors College. He has increased transparency by creating a culture of collaboration and reinforces the role of shared governance. And he is focused on safety on our campus through various programs ranging from Title IX training and curtailing alcohol use among students. And safety on campuses in this day and age, as all of you know, is highly important. And the board and the president are together on that activity and that emphasis that we've been making in the last 16 months. He has become a well-respected advocate for Murray State in Frankfort and throughout the Commonwealth. And I told you he's a bulldog, and that's what we need. Many from Murray in West Kentucky have told me on visits down here and business trips down here and emails and phone calls that with the involvement of the Davies family in the community, it seems like they've been here a few years rather than just now 16 months. Now, Bob, there could have been some bad calls saying it seems like he's been here forever, you know, but I have not had those calls yet. I know from my personal conversations with Bob and Cindy and Katie that they love Murray, Kentucky, the greater West Kentucky area, and to no one's surprise, Murray, Callaway County, and West Kentucky welcomed them with open arms from day one. It is my pleasure, as chairman of the Board of the Regents, to ask Bob Davies to come forward to deliver the State of the University.
Thanks, Irving. Thank you, Harry Lee, for those kind words. Well, with the exception of the bulldog and the evil calls coming later. Thank you all for coming today and participating in my inaugural State of the University address. I appreciate each of you taking the time to participate either in person and online. And this is my inaugural State of the University address. This is an annual activity that I think we should do on an annual basis for the transparency, discussion, and future of our institution. This past year was a transition for my family and me. My wife, Cindy, our daughter, Katie, have felt so welcome in our new community in West Kentucky, and we clearly know why Murray is known as the friendliest town in America. As I've gotten to know you, our faculty, our staff, our students, our community members, I have been impressed by your dedication to the ongoing success of our university and its core values that make it special. We are truly honored, my family and I, to be part of your community, and we look forward to making it ours for decades to come. In creating our university, Dr. Wells said that the new University of Murray will cast its shadow and nourish every other interest in the community, and it, in turn, will be richly rewarded and supported by the community in its own efforts and become one of, if not the finest college in the Commonwealth. You, our faculty, our staff, our students, our community members have brought these words to life by making it a goal of Murray State to be the preeminent proponent of community development, of growth, the harbinger of intellectualism, the catalyst of ideas, and the foundation of opportunities that inspire all of us to always excel, to persevere, to overcome obstacles by supporting one another and not by working as individuals, but as one single united community. It is easy for any university to make claims, but it is another thing to actually demonstrate it. And from my observations, based on your work, your dedication, we have indeed put those words into action. On September 24th, 1923, when the initial 87 students joined our original 9 faculty members, our foundation was laid for the creation of a university that would uphold the ideals of hope, achievement, and endeavor, the 3 stars on our seal. Today, with 10,998 students and 1,373 faculty and staff, we remain committed to our foundation as an institution of higher learning, committed to community service and engagement. And we are unquestionably focused on the betterment of our students, our region, our Commonwealth, the nation, and the world. We do this by living true to the standard of providing hope focusing our actions on long-term achievements, and setting our mind to endeavor, overcoming our obstacles and challenges, no matter how insurmountable they may be. Each year, since 1923, we have made significant advances as a community. Our achievements from the last year were no exception. For example, for the 25th year in a row, Murray State was ranked among the best comprehensive universities by U.S. News World Report. In addition to our high ranking, U.S. News bestowed upon us an even more impressive accolade. Based on the insights from higher education leaders from across the country, Murray State was ranked 6th in our region for our commitment to undergraduate education. In this category of a commitment to undergraduate education, we are the highest ranked public university, not only in the Commonwealth, but our extended region. A true testament to our faculty and our staff and the receptivity of our students. We achieve these accolades based on the accomplishments of our students and our graduates, which is fostered by our faculty and staff's dedication. For example, our recent graduates are thriving, with nearly 80% of them reporting that they are either employed or attending graduate school within 1 year of graduation. And 60% of those graduates remain here in the Commonwealth. Speaking of graduate school, 73% of our graduates in 2015 who applied for veterinary school were accepted, and they were accepted through their first choice. 73% far surpasses the national acceptance rate of 39%, and I dare say it is the highest in the Commonwealth. Our Institute of Engineering, for the second consecutive year and for the third time in 4 years, reported a 100% pass rate on the rigorous ABET-sponsored Fundamentals of Engineering exam. Because of these achievements, it is no wonder why we are included on the list of the top 100 America's best college buys by Forbes magazine. And the Chronicle of Higher Education has once again recognized us for one of the great colleges to work for. And bless you, sir. You're welcome. See, that gave me a pause and actually take a drink of water. Because of our rigorous academic programs and high standards, the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, SACS, reaffirmed our institutional accreditation with 0 recommendations. And we had multiple academic programs receiving reaffirmation of their own accreditations, including our veterinary technology program and our theater department. And very recently, our Department of Journalism and Mass Communication concluded its site visit by the Accrediting Council on Education in Journalism and Mass Communications. Also, our engineering physics program within our Institute of Engineering also completed its site visit from ABET. Based on the exit interview with both of these teams, with a long list of accolades, and the very short list, or in one case, no list of recommendations, we expect to receive favorable recommendations later this year. Proportionally, we have more discipline-specific accreditations than any other university in the Commonwealth. This high standard has led to many of our programs receiving their own national recognition. We are home, for example, to the largest and highest ranked, at 37th in the country, of an online MBA program in the Commonwealth. Our music department is consistently invited to perform at national conferences and symposiums. Our College of Education and Human Services was ranked as a best value by the National Council on Teacher Quality, and we earned the highest ranking in overall quality performance among all public universities in the Commonwealth. The Kentucky Association of Career and Technical Education has selected our Hudson School of Agricultural's dual credit, the Racer Academy program, as a post-secondary program of distinction. Our programs are supported by faculty and staff who themselves receive statewide and national recognition. For example, Constance Alexander from our Department of English and Philosophy received the Governor's Award in Arts for Media from the state of Kentucky. And Dr. Loganathan, professor in the Department of Chemistry and Watershed Studies Institute, was named as a fellow by the American Chemical Society. And our students thrive in many ways. Just yesterday, our soccer team, in a thrilling overtime game, scoring the winning goal with just 52 seconds remaining in the overtime period, capped off a season in which they went undefeated in conference play and will be invited to the NCAA championships later today. And this team had 3 individuals with a perfect 4.0 GPA in their career and a team average of 3.4. They are great soccer players and excellent students. Let's give everyone a wonderful hand of applause for what we achieved this past year. Dr. Woods, who wrote the first history of Murray State, is entitled 50 Years of Progress. We can as easily say that we are entering our 93rd year of progress based on these and many more accomplishments, and we will definitely work hard to continue this trend. As I look to the future, I believe that we are at a confluence of dynamic changes in higher education that are driven by three macro forces which are shaping and shifting our thoughts. These include, first, the continual decline of state resources; second, the continual increase of accountability measures, including what we'll talk about later, performance funding; and third, the shifting relationship and the meaning and purpose and value of higher education. Over the past decade, we have seen dramatic decreases in higher education funding. During this time in Kentucky, the state appropriations to public universities decreased by nearly $180 million. In addition, many unfunded mandates, as well as shifting of cost, have been imposed on our universities. In total, at Murray State, these decreases in funding, cost shifts, and unfunded mandates represents nearly a 25% decrease in state appropriations. In the not-too-distant past, the state, on average, paid nearly 70% of the educational cost for a full-time student. Today at Murray State, that percentage is closer to 25%, and this will continue to decrease in the years ahead. Murray State has made every effort to be good stewards of our scarce resources. Yet costs for deferred maintenance continue to increase. Wages for our faculty and staff are constantly being stretched. There are needs for added technology, healthcare costs increase, basic operational funds are strained, and many more financial stresses have manifested here at Murray State, and you are all too aware of these. It is also important to note that these decreases in state funding, these shifts in costs, these unfunded mandates occurred when student population at all universities, and specifically at Murray State, significantly increased, exacerbating the overall situation. At the same time as the state resources diminish, the mandates for more accountability measures have increased. This has manifested itself not only at the state level, but also at the federal level through multiple scorecards and reports. Unfortunately, to me, many of these measures do not reflect the quality of rigorous academic programs, and in many cases create a paradox of conflicting and contrarian goals. For example, the call to move to an open enrollment philosophy, yet reduce developmental courses, and also decrease time to degree, causing students who are not prepared to take more classes than they are able to take. Increases quality, but keep tuition low, and with also much less public resources. And increase four-year graduation rates. At the same time, many state agencies increase the number of courses required for state licenses. These are just a few of the paradox. Another form of accountability is manifesting in the goal or under the name of performance funding. And this has been adopted by 31 states, and soon, most likely, Kentucky will be added to that list. Please, do not get me wrong. I believe that we should, as a public university, be held accountable. I also believe that performance funding can be positive. My concern lies in the political nature that evolves around these issues, and whether we are truly focusing on the key goals and benefits, public and private benefits, of the university, or what is politically expedient. This leads me to the third shift, and that is how the general public views the value and reason for higher education. Many contend we should only be about job placements and the personal economic benefits of our graduates. Thus, should we focus solely on technical and practical tools of a profession or of a discipline? Or do we care and share the idealism of preparing our students for a dynamic world where we provide the foundation of logic and reasoning, critical thought, effective communication, an appreciation for global cultures, the role of civic responsibility, the ability to evoke sympathy and an understanding and respect for those who are different than us? We could go look no further than what is going on at the University of Missouri as we speak to these issues. This trend was eloquently discussed recently by Dr. Jeff Osborne, Associate Professor of English, during the College of Humanities and Fine Arts Showcase when he highlighted the concepts of Paulo Freire on banking or transactional education, when he stated, Schools are increasingly imprisoning rather than liberating young minds. Like factories producing uniform and docile intellects, students' critical capacity atrophies and stagnates along with their imaginations. This concept was beautifully conveyed just last week by Murray State art student Justine Riley, who will be graduating this December. In her senior art show, Conformity, she used ceramics to demonstrate how we conform. In this piece, entitled Education, she displays how when we teach to a single goal, we literally pour information into the students just to be regurgitated out on a test. This will result in more and more cups that, while may be useful for a single purpose, are identical in form. And the result, while creating conformity in the much larger and important sense, also creates a loss of creativity, individualism, and indeed a loss of essence and self-determination and personal fulfillment, the underlying goals of higher education. Our role is to blend the need for technical expertise and a comprehensive and holistic understanding of the broader and deeper issues. A Murray State graduate should be liberating in their thinking. Yes, a goal is indeed future employment, Mr. Combs, but their education should be preparing them not for a single job after graduation, but for a career that they create as a result of the value they bring in their ability to continually learn, digest new information, create new paradigms, and see the world from different perspectives. According to the New York Times columnist and author Thomas Friedman, the role of a college graduate is not to, quote unquote, find a job. Rather, it is to create their career. The world is flat, fast, and getting faster every day. For our students to be prepared, they will need to have an understanding of technical applications, no question. However, to thrive, they will need to know that not every question or problem has one simple answer in a can. These forces of change, declining state revenue resources, increased accountability, and the shifting of external goals and expectations for higher education are coming together at a confluence and create substantive and formative changes in higher education that are indeed shaping our working lives as professors, as staff members, and students of Murray State. We are at a watershed moment in the history of public higher education, which will shift our thinking and actions for decades. Our response to this confluence of change resides in our own carefully crafted strategic plan. In developing the plan last year, we asked ourselves, through an open committee structure, over 35 public meetings, and numerous of drafts that were shared for responses, on how best to address, based on our own strengths, the issues and challenges presented by these forces. At the same time, we also asked, how do we position ourselves to take advantage of the opportunities by seizing this watershed moment to solidify our university as a transformative institution that is innovative, rooted in serving students, advancing communities, and committed to the creation, dissemination, and application of knowledge. At the foundation of this effort is a commitment to the core attributes that are at the heart of our university. According to Jim Collins, a professor in business at Stanford University and author of many books, including Good to Great, he examines why some organizations merely succeed and trudge on, others thrive and excel, and why others indeed fail. He found that excellent performing organizations, for-profits, nonprofits, or educational institutions like Murray State, operate at the intersection, at the confluence of the Venn diagram, where's Renee Pfister, my math magician, on three fundamental questions. These three questions are, one, what is the organizational's core proficiency? Or what can the organization do better than any other organization? Second, what is the passion of the organization? What drives it and gets it up in the morning? And three, what drives its resources model? In developing our strategic plan, we use these three questions to guide our thinking and the development of the final plan. At Murray State, from my own observations and interactions with each of you over the past year, as well as working with the strategic planning team, we confirmed that our core proficiencies deal with our commitment to rigorous academic programs. This begins with an overt commitment to exceptional teaching and learning. Our faculty and staff are composed of talented individuals dedicated to the art of teaching and learning. And I purposely combine teaching and learning and do not separate these activities because through a commitment to continual improvements in pedagogical skills and capabilities, we are unsurpassed among our peers in that thought process of how to teach and how to learn. We take amazing pride and act accordingly to ensure our students are connected and engaged with these highly skilled educators. Small classes, individualized attention, and the personal dedication of our faculty and staff ensure students learn and internalize the subject matter, a hallmark of our university. Secondly, our passion, what energizes us, is our commitment that all of our programs are relevant to the needs of our students and our community. We are relevant. This is a showcase by working with students to build communities within communities. The most visible component of this work is our residential college system that for 20 years has blossomed and bloomed and has been the standard many other universities have tried to replicate. Our academic program areas are always constantly seeking ways to provide state-of-the-art programs to meet the dynamic needs of our communities. While we frequently joke about our hemp crop research, this is an example of Murray State of being on the forefront of an emerging industry, as just recently the headline in statewide newspapers discussed this, hemp, as Kentucky's next golden crop. Way to go, Tony. Our telecommunications system management program, our occupational safety and health program, our accounting program, our nursing program, our music and theater programs, our sciences, English and philosophy, and many others have all made changes over the recent past to remain relevant to our community and always, always to be at the forefront of their fields. The success of these efforts is evidenced in the constant employment of our graduates from these programs and the support that they receive continually from our community. Third, what is our resource engine? Now, many of the students in the audience may think that I'm referring to tuition, as that is indeed, unfortunately, our largest source of revenue. However, let me propose to you that our resource engine is our reputation for excellence, especially in regards to our undergraduate experience. We put great pride, and rightfully so, on our national and regional rankings. We are proud to celebrate the numerous accolades of our university, our colleges, and our individual programs, which they receive on an annual basis. This commitment to excellence enables us to attract top students, recruit and retain exceptional faculty and staff, secure private donations, and garner support from major companies and organizations for our students with internships and employment offers upon graduation. Additionally, this is affirmed by the large number of graduates accepted to leading graduate programs at the master's or at the PhD level. Our resource engine is indeed our commitment to excellence. It drives all monetary and other resources. At the intersection of these three attributes is our primary operating theme, and that is our unyielding commitment to the positive and transformational experience for our students. We are here for our students. This is epitomized by our vision of being the best student-centered university in America. This is actualized by the countless stories of faculty and staff members going well and beyond the call of duty for our students. Faculty and staff regularly provide their personal cell phone numbers to our students, meet them on weekends, drive hours to visit them at home, and take the time to guide them through the struggles that they face not only as a student, but as a person. Our campus is racer proud, routinely going above and beyond for our students. This unshakable characteristic that is the foundation of Murray State, and one we want to reaffirm with a new recognition program, indeed called Racer Proud. You'll hear more about this program in the coming weeks. With this as a basis for our strategic planning, we are now in the process of implementing strategy and actions to advance and achieve our four overarching goals, which are advancing a culture of academic quality, promoting a dynamic and diverse university community committed to student success, advancing knowledge to benefit society by fostering research, scholarship, and creative activities, and 4, improving the quality of life for our communities through engagement. With this in mind, I would like to highlight a few initiatives that we must focus on and develop this year in order to continue our progress. They are integrated and building on our commitment to rigor, relevance, and excellence. One of the key factors outlined in the strategic plan, and always at the top of minds, is navigating the financial pressures and uncertainty that are placed on our university to maintain sustainability. As a public university, we are committed to remain as affordable as possible. To me, this is a charge that we have accepted, and one I hope our new governor and General Assembly will also fully embrace and support these efforts. I appreciate the unyielding support we have received from State Senator Humphreys and Representative Imes, as well as those from our 18-county service area. I am also very appreciative that the legislative committees of the Faculty Senate and the Student Government Association are working directly and in concert with the university's legislative team in making and presenting our case. I'm also pleased that the Chamber of Commerce and our City Council members join us in these efforts. Over the course of this last election, I met frequently with Governor-elect Matt Bevin and Lieutenant Governor-elect Janine Hampton. We have hosted them on campus numerous times, and I have met them frequently in other venues. We, along with my peer presidents, are working hard to present the case to have the state reinvest in higher education. We will continue to educate them about the enormous long-term benefits that this investment will have. At the same time, we need to be realistic and understand, because of other statewide challenges, that the likelihood of a substantial investment in the forthcoming biennial budget is not high. Furthermore, it is clear that any new operational funds will be tied to specific performance measures. And finally, we must be prepared for, given the financial structure of the Commonwealth, the likelihood of a budget reduction, as well as unfunded mandates and the passing of additional costs to the university, like pension, is highly probable. Therefore, we need to be strategic and think about how we generate the appropriate levels of revenue, as well as deploy our existing resources in a manner that is most effective and efficient in achieving our goals of serving students. One area that needs to be addressed is our tuition and scholarship models and policies. And these two, tuition and scholarships, are intricately connected. They are linked together, and we must think about them as such and take this time now to reconfigure both. We have positioned ourselves as a low-cost provider. While this may work when state appropriations are flush and stable, in today's environment, it presents significant challenges and sends a clear message how our own view of our own university. First, should not be a surprise, state appropriations are not stable nor flush. Therefore, we are more at risk when it comes to statewide budget reductions. Also, as a result of being a low-cost provider, we are positioning ourselves as a commodity and not as an institution that provides great value. This fact was outlined in a recent market research study which demonstrated the perception of our position as a leading and exceptional university has diminished and is being replaced by the word cheap. I do not believe that that is the case. As a result, we must develop a series of strategies that better reflect Murray State's value proposition and promotes our commitment to the rigor of high academic quality and standards, the relevance we provide to our students, and our unyielding commitment to excellence. We all know that there are critical areas for which we need to invest. We need to invest in student academic and support services. We need to invest in our faculty and staff directly through compensation plans. We need to invest in our students through scholarships and financial aid. We need to invest in our existing facilities, our labs, and our technology. Just look behind you and you can look at our facilities and the investment we need to make. We need to invest in new pedagogical practices and tools. We need to invest in basic operating budgets. We can continue to rely on state funds that will be slow and short in coming, or we can start now and make changes in other practices while preserving affordability. This will change our trajectory, and over the years will create additional revenues necessary to invest in our university. I propose to you that if we do not change and maintain our current strategies, why should we expect anything different other than what we have and are dealing with now? Therefore, a strategy we must investigate in the face of declining state support is indeed our tuition policy. This includes our current policy of capping tuition at 12 credit hours. Last year, 29,194 credits were provided for free to students under this arrangement. This is 13% of the total number of credits we granted last year. At the same time, the university incurred the costs associated with these courses and credits. Add to this, online courses are exempt from this policy, causing confusion among students and parents. In our new fiscal environment, this model is not sustainable, and that is why over the past several years, many universities have removed or changed the tuition cap strategy, and I predict that even more will do so in the future. Our goal is to have a tuition model that is transparent in process, remains affordable, encourages students to take 15, not 12, credits a semester, and produces sufficient revenues to support the associated costs of a high-quality academic university. It is a difficult but necessary balancing act, and is one I am confident we can and indeed will achieve. Our aim is not to be the most expensive university or present additional financial barriers for students. Our goal is to be financially secure and be able to have the resources to ensure the continued success of our university and thus our students. A significant part of this effort is the need to fund more scholarships to assist students based on academic success and progress. This has been sorely missing in recruiting high-quality students in our immediate region, as well as in our other primary and secondary markets. We will also target specific demographics of students with scholarships to promote diversity and to meet statewide priorities. Our current academic scholarship levels have been static for many years and have been limited in scope. Our plan is to increase the amounts, rewarding high achievement, and providing incentives for students who perform well while attending Murray State University. Later this week, we will release the proposed report and recommendations for this new model. Eventually, a proposal will be provided to the Board of Regents and the Council of Post-Secondary Education. I believe you will see that the new model positions us well among our peers, maintains our ability to provide excellent value while not prohibiting student access because of financial needs. It resets our tuition model so that we will not be required to have significant tuition increases in future years and will support investments to increase the quality of our programs. Another critical objective tied to the financial sustainability of our quality programs is the need to invest in our own people. Just as I believe we need to support students with academic scholarships, we must also be able to support our faculty and staff. I am committed to providing annual cost of living adjustments. We also must have a salary structure that supports the recruiting, retaining, and rewarding of high-achieving faculty and staff. The implementation of such a plan cannot be achieved in a single year. However, we have begun this effort, and I am committed to establishing a financially sustainable compensation plan that rewards, again, high-achieving faculty and staff and helps with recruiting and retention. While tuition has become our largest revenue source, state appropriation levels cannot be forgotten. As you have all heard, a portion of any increase in state appropriation for operations will be based on a performance funding model. As such, we must be aggressive in pursuing these avenues, provided they do not carry us away from our core values. To date, the performance funding metrics that have been discussed fit within our strategic plan. They include increasing retention, progression, and graduation rates, total number of degrees awarded, and number of degrees granted in our science, technology, engineering, math, and health fields. These metrics will also include specific goals for underrepresented minority and low-income students. We will also have an institutional-specific metric that I will talk at the conclusion of this speech about. It is important for us all to know that any new funds granted by the General Assembly will be tied directly and specifically to the achievement of these goals. Currently, based on our share of the general fund, the CPE budget proposal being discussed would provide approximately for $4 million to Murray State in our performance funding pool. An important factor is that this amount will only be added to the recurring budget based on the percentage we achieve in each of the performance measures. And as discussed earlier, the likelihood and the work to get new funding is a very steep hill to climb. Through these challenges and changing times, I remain optimistic because of who we are. We must acknowledge we are an exceptional university with many strengths. And for whatever reason, we have kept this secret a bit too long, and it must be addressed. I am pleased to say that we have hired a national leading expert in marketing and branding of universities in Dr. Adrian King as our Vice President for Marketing and Outreach. Through an inclusive and research-based process, Dr. King will develop an integrated marketing plan for Murray State. With your support, this collaborative effort will have a profound and lasting impact on the university on many fronts, including student recruitment, faculty and staff recruitment, philanthropic activities, legislative affairs, community affairs, career services for our students, national rankings, and many other initiatives. This work of positioning Murray State as a high-quality university with a clear and distinct focus on students, led by outstanding faculty, dedicated to teaching and learning, served by a cadre of staff with unparalleled skills and dedication to the university community, allows all of our students and graduates to thrive in the attainment of their goals. This is the position we need to effectively communicate far and wide. While Dr. King will take great care and acumen is leading this effort, it will take all of us working together to maintain this brand that we all know of Murray State. Tied to these efforts is that we have made an important step in reaffirming our higher admission standards for Murray State. As we have discussed over the last year, and in nearly all of my initial meetings with the deans and the respective chairs, this came up, we have, in an effort to bolster enrollment, admitted many students who are not prepared to meet the demands of our rigorous academic programs. While we collect the tuition from these students, our retention and graduation rates have stagnated and declined. To me, this is an ethical standard as well as a practical issue. It is well documented that a large majority of these students do not persist and leave Murray State with debt and a transcript that will not help them in the future. When we admit unprepared students, our image as a high-quality and rigorous university decreases significantly. As our perception decreases for students, it does so as well for recruiting high-caliber faculty and staff. I understand why, at the time, we admitted these students, additional students. However, the strains of doing this outweigh the benefits, not only for the individual students and their families, but also for the university. A significant majority of these students do not persist to graduation, but the time burden on our faculty and staff has increased as well. These costs are all too high. Do not get me wrong, I'm not saying that we need to be an elite university that only admits students with the highest of academic marks. Rather, I am stating we need to admit students who have the academic credentials and a demonstrated personal commitment to succeed at Murray State. I do not, and I'm sure you do not, want to set people up for failure. Therefore, for the upcoming year, we are returning to our more rigorous standard for admitting students. Some may say that this will cause a short-term decrease in students. However, as evidenced by results from other universities that have pursued this strategy, enrollment quickly rebounds as more students are adapted to attend an institution, especially when the overall market conditions contract, which is now the case, that embodies quality over one that emphasizes quantity. All of these efforts are contained within our strategic plan, as well as many other strategies. Over the course of the next several years, we will invest operational funds in programs that lead to measurable gains towards our goals. This includes, for example, degree attainment, retention and persistence rates, advancing programs that have distinguished themselves, or other innovative programs that reinforce rigor, relevance, and excellence. The deans and other university leaders have taken on this work through their own planning efforts and allocated resources that will make significant advances within their respective colleges, as well as supporting the overall efforts of the university. In addition, we have identified a strategic investment fund for one-time seed funding for projects and ideas that lead directly to the achievement of these goals. On this note, I would like to highlight one additional goal, one very bold goal, which will greatly enhance and distinguish our university. It is under the Student Success Initiative and states, every graduate will complete an internship, service learning component, study abroad, practicum, or clinical experience, or an other experience-rich activity. We will strive to have every undergraduate participate in experiential learning opportunity, whether it is a study abroad program, an intensive internship, a significant research project with a faculty member that leads to a publication or a presentation at a conference, or at another opportunity where our students are immersed in a project outside the classroom that leads to the benefit of blending academic material, cultural experiences, and practical applications. This very element, and by stating that every undergraduate, not some, not few, every undergraduate will complete one of these opportunities, creates a significant and important distinction between a Murray State degree and a degree from another university. It will combine our emphasis on rigor, it strengthens our sense of relevance, and our ardent passion in the pursuit of excellence is revealed. The successful completion of this goal will also create and further our assurance that a Murray State graduate will be bestowed with the important aspect of his or her field of study and how they are applied. Moreover, this experience will enable our graduates to have the foundation necessary to be citizens of the globe, have an understanding and appreciation of different cultures, enhance critical thinking, build upon their understanding of logic and reasoning, conduct research, experience the thrill of new discoveries, and be able to communicate ideas to diverse audiences and in multiple venues. These are the characteristics of citizens that are needed not only in our region and the Commonwealth, but across the nation and the world. We are shortchanging our students if we only prepare them for their first job or their next job. The achievement of this goal expands our focus to create critical, creative, and independent thinkers, lifelong learners, and productive members of a global society, and is based on a transformational, not transactional, education and learning. Because of this defining goal for Murray State University, our institutional performance funding metric is based on service learning because it will and is separating us from the other universities. Murray State is a fine and dignified university with a rich history and a very proud tradition. I am honored to serve you as president at this important time in our history. Dr. Wells provided the foundation for a university that will be engaged with our communities and well respected and be among the finest in the Commonwealth. Dr. Carr began this actualization by assembling the finest faculty who are committed to their disciplines. Dr. Woods infused Murray State with the value of being centered on our students and their growth as individuals. It is now through the planning and daily application of your duties and practices that we bring all of these together and live the words of Dr. Sparks when he stated, Murray State University is not the largest university in the United States, but it is well known and well recognized. Please catch the spirit, help strengthen it. Thank you for your time, your dedication, and support to our fine university. Let us go forward and make this our 93rd year of progress. Please join me and your colleagues in the Rather Room for a reception, and Godspeed and go Racers. Thank you very much.